He'll be stretched into Jay's Talk Plus and have a lot of things on the mind. Blake rejoins me in the Raptors tunnel on this Monday eve as they look to take on the Wiz again. Being at the end, Blake's got me thinking back to the beginning. So sitting down with both Scottie Barnes and Emmanuel Quickley, talking about how eager they were to build that chemistry together. Now, injury situations aside, why has it felt a little bit disjointed in the minutes that we have seen them together?
Yeah, it's been a work in progress, and that progress has been a little slow. Now, I do like something that the Raptors have tried to do to fix that. You mentioned the injuries. Over the first 100 games these guys were on the roster together, they played fewer than 800 minutes together. So less than like 8 minutes per team game. You're just not going to build a good chemistry. And these are the teams, now Ingram is in the mix as well, but these were the two guys that the team had invested the most in. So they need to figure out that chemistry. Well, since Emmanuel Quickley's come back from his latest injury at the end of January, he's played 88% of his minutes alongside Scottie Barnes. That was only about 50-50 beforehand. Darko Rajakovic was choosing to stagger them instead of pairing them together. The reason they pair them together is so they can get more reps doing things like this. And here we're going to see a couple examples of them running pick and roll together with either Scottie as the handler or Emmanuel Quickley as the handler. And this chemistry is going to be really important. Obviously, we think, pick and roll, hey, the ball's going to be in the point guard's hand. Well, Scottie can be a better screener than he's gotten to show in this instance. Emmanuel Quickley's shooting percentages have gone up in these minutes where he's playing more with Scottie Barnes, in part because of how, hey, if Scottie sets a screen, maybe that's a switch there. Maybe he gets a better angle. Now, Scottie's numbers haven't been quite as good in those minutes with Quickley, but you can see where, hey, Scottie sets a screen, Emmanuel Quickley comes, and it's called a ghost screen when the guard kind of comes and then immediately pops out for a three, or Scottie can get ahead of steam. There is a lot to mine there. They've been doing it about 50% more often since Quickley came back. The success still not quite there, but it's important that they're really digging down on getting these reps.
And again, have that time now, hopefully a little bit more consistently going further. They're a massive part of the Raptors' future, and it seems the Raps are hoping that Jared Rhoden might be a part of theirs as well. Signed to a two-way contract last week, and you've been a big fan of Rhoden since training camp, because this is a big full circle story.
Yeah, he was with the team in training camp, really impressed people. But if you remember back to camp, there were a lot of guards on that roster, a lot of two guards, a lot of competition. So he gets cut, and then the Hornets claim him off waivers, make him a two-way guy, but then he got hurt, so he never really got his feet under him with the Hornets. He goes back to 905, and when the 905 were still winning a lot of games, he was their standout player. I thought he was their best player. So now you see him get a 10-day, get a two-way, and if you're looking, hey, what needs to translate for Jared Rhoden? Well, you've seen a couple finishes already where the strength is obvious. This is a 6'5" guy who likes to play physical, doesn't mind driving into contact. Will that translate? I think so. Will the shooting translate? He's not a guy that shot well in college. He's not a guy that's shot well in a small NBA sample so far, but he's hit 39.7% of his threes over 3 G League seasons now. So you'd like to see that translate. And then probably the two most important things in terms of his fit, his defense is, he's got 6'11" wingspan. I mentioned the physicality. That should translate. And then this year he's had by far the highest assist rate in his career. So you think of what kind of a wing fits in Darko's system. That's passing element has got to be there. You mentioned the long term. They signed him to a 2-year, two-way contract. So he's going to be in the summer program. He'll be at Summer League. He'll be in camp again. They're invested. I like it.
And 2-year two-way, correct?
Yes.
Which gives him a little bit more rope to play with. Rhoden spoke last game about how the direct transition from 905 to Raptors was very understandable